Now that Marvel Rivals has been out for just under a week and we've had plenty of time to play it, I think it's time we talk about it. So before we jump into specifics, I'll just go ahead and say that playing as a strategist, healer, support, whatever you're calling it's called strategist, but I think we're all just kind of calling it whatever we want. It feels amazing to play, genuinely. It's really, really good and really, really fun. For those that may be new to the channel, my name's Doc, and I almost exclusively play whatever the healing or support role is in pretty much every game. With how long I've been doing this, I've gotten used to many different forms of healing, and in my humble opinion, Marvel Rivals has some of the best healing that I've used in a game in a very long time. So let's talk specifics. What makes me enjoy playing that strategist role so much? Let's go ahead and start with the most obvious. Healing simply feels impactful. When I hit someone with a heal, I feel like I actually gave them an advantage in the fight rather than just delaying the inevitable. I think the biggest reason for this is because the healing per second output can actually be really, really high as you learn and master a hero. Now, are you going to be able to out-heal the entire enemy team's damage? Of course not. No, absolutely not. Nor would I advocate for that. Though, I will say, in like a 2v2 or even a 2v3 scenario, a skilled strategist can give their teammate enough of an advantage to come out on top, or, maybe you guys will at least be able to escape the fight without anyone dying. The key word there, though, is skilled, because the skill ceiling for a lot of these heroes is surprisingly high, even for your low difficulty ones. Of course, though, something to keep in mind, the game has only been out for a week, so we'll kind of see how things like skill ceilings and value of healing and utility and stuff like that looks after a few months or even a year, whenever everyone has had some time to master their heroes and figure out metas and stuff like that. Regardless of all that, though, I am pretty confident, or at least I'll say optimistic, that healing will remain valuable and strategists won't just become glorified damage dealers. Speaking of damage dealers and impactful healing, you'll realize very quickly as you play this role that your team is not the only one that feels the impact of your healing. A bittersweet thing about playing strategist is that if you're good at your role, you kind of become an Avengers level threat to the enemy team. They will stop at nothing, and I mean nothing, to hunt you down and take you out of the fight. Main reason for that is that mobility seems to be pretty high in this game for a lot of heroes, despite your base movement speed being pretty slow. So there's a lot of ways to be able to dive into the back line or escape from being dove. So when I'm mid-match and I check the leaderboard and I see that the enemy team now consists of Iron Fist, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Venom, Black Widow, and Loki, I know that I'm doing something right. Can it be frustrating watching an Iron Fist come around the corner and turn you into a fine pink mist? Absolutely it can. But one of the next reasons I think they did such a good job with Strategist is the way so many heroes have built-in ways of sustaining themselves or escaping a fight. Whenever I get taken down in Marvel Rivals, it's very obvious to me almost right away what mistakes I made and how I could have done better to escape or win that fight. In keeping with fighting, I can also appreciate the ratio of healing to damage. I think they found a really good balance between how much damage a strategist can do versus how much healing they can do. I've seen way too many games fall into the trap of healer damage is equivalent to throwing a wet paper towel at a brick wall, or the other trap of this is literally just a damage dealer and you are actively throwing if you heal. And Marvel Rivals doesn't really seem to fall into either of those. In my experience, I found that most strategists have a damage output low enough that it'd probably be better to escape over trying to duel, but they do enough damage to meaningfully contribute to team fights, keep enemies off your back, or even win duels in some cases. Of course, on top of healing and damage, there's also plenty of utilities that you can provide to your team. Everything from weakening, amplifying healing, damage increase, blinds, distractions, and much more. The things that you can bring in your kit that can help your team other than healing are vast, and overall it feels as though the entire roster of strategists so far are very unique and interesting and fit a ton of different playstyles, no matter what kind of support you like to be. When it comes to heroes, there's plenty of guides and tier lists out there already, so I'm not going to bore y'all with any of those, and I'll encourage you to go out and check out those videos if that's something you're interested in. If you know me and you know the channel, I'm not a super PvP guy, I'm not a super competitive guy, so I'm not going to, pretend like I know better than most other people out there. However, I will just give a couple quick predictions in case this video is convincing you to try out some healing in this game. Right off the bat, I think Cloak and Dagger and Mantis are going to be pretty common picks at high ranks once people start mastering them. Their kits are insanely diverse and provide everything you could want in a support, plus they have some pretty decent damage output on top of all of the support they bring. They also have a very high skill ceiling though, so I will say it will probably take a good bit of practice to truly get good with them. Now, if you're just starting out, if you're just picking up this game today, I'd personally recommend starting with Luna Snow. She's a very generalist kit, she's very easy to pick up, yet hard to master. So, overall, she brings a lot to the table, and I think that she's a really beginner-friendly hero. Now, you may be asking, what about you, Doc? Who are you maining? Well, I think the answer is pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, look at this guy. Look at him. I mean, how could you not love him? Just look at him. I don't care what everyone else thinks about him. I do not care if he is labeled the most toxic character in the game. No one could ever make me hate Jeff the Landshark. Look at him. How can he be toxic? He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. Finally, though, I did want to clear the air about a few things, okay? Serious time, all right? Serious face. Serious voice, all right? Yes, I think this game as a whole is great, and I hope it continues to succeed. Do I think this is the Overwatch killer that people are claiming it is? No, I don't. I still love Overwatch. I'm still going to play Overwatch. And I'm currently working on another Overwatch video that will be probably coming out towards the end of the month. The only difference is now I'm also going to play Marvel Rivals 2, because it's also a great game, and I've fallen in love with this game. I'm not trading one game for another, I'm simply just gaining a new one. I would encourage everyone to just do what you want. If you want to drop Overwatch completely, that's totally fine. You don't have to drop Overwatch from Marvel Rivals, though, and you're not betraying Overwatch if you play a few rounds of Marvel Rivals every now and then. These games can and will coexist, and once the dust settles, they'll both still be around. Now, what's going to happen to Paladins with this? I don't know. Best of luck to you. I'm just kidding. I still love you, Paladins. So I think that was pretty much all I had to say. Again, in case I hadn't said it enough, I've been having a blast playing a strategist in this game, and healing feels fantastic. Take it from a guy that does nothing but heal all the time, and wants to be a heal bot, even though I know that's not the best way to play. I still enjoy that play style. But yeah, take it from me, man. It feels really, really good. If you enjoy healing, if you enjoy utility, if you enjoy just being unkillable and putting out a little bit of damage, you're going to love Strategist in this game. It's a great game, and I will definitely continue making videos about this game in the future. Of course, my usual games aren't going anywhere, so my ESO, my Destiny fans, even my Overwatch fans, if there are any of you out there, you can still expect plenty of my usual content. I've got a ton of videos planned from now through the rest of the year and into early next year, so make sure to subscribe and follow me on my socials if you don't want to miss those. As always, thank you for your support, and I think all I've got left to say is that I've been Doc. Take care of yourselves, be good to others, don't forget to watch out for Iron Fist. He's probably right behind you, like right now. Turn around. Nah, I'm just kidding. I will catch y'all in the next one.